Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. So today we're going to take a look at the M6 and is it a vlogger's dream?
3, 2, 1, 0.
So the Canon M6, let's just start out by saying it is not the successor to the M5. It's just simply not. All right, let's just start out with that. Now, I did a video on the M5 when that first came out, and we took a look at it as a possible vlogger's dream, right? Now, we're looking at the M6. I'm going to kind of look at it in the same light because there's a lot of vloggers, there's a lot of people that do video out there and they want to know what to use. A lot of people are using big 80Ds. They love them. They look absolutely fantastic. They follow focus great. It's a really great system, but it's really big. For me, like what I'm shooting on right now is an S120. It's discontinued, but it's tiny and it does a really good job, right? So now, is this camera a possible vlogger's dream camera? Can we use that? Now, the M5, my major beef with that was number one, Canon didn't come up with a full frame camera, which I think they should have, just like Sony, but taking that out of the picture, let's just say, because we know Canon for some reason has been behind the 8 ball now for quite some time. The thing was that the articulating back screen, the LCD, would flip down. So if you were using a tripod, the pole would be in the middle of the camera. That just sucks, you know? That just sucks for doing vlogging. Now, of course, you can come up with a solution to that by putting it offset using some type of rig. But why do that? Why do you need to go through all that? So before we get into the, let's say, the nitty-gritty on what I think about the camera and who this camera is for, let's just look at the specs, right? Now, the Canon M6 has a Digix 7 processor. It's 24 megapixels. You got 49 points AF system built into it, 9 frames per second. Now, if you guys remember the M5, all this sounds really familiar. Let me go on. ISO is 100 to 25,600. The shutter speed 1/4000th to 30 seconds. You have a sync speed of 1/200th. Video also does 1080p at 60 frames per second. This all sounds really familiar, right? The LCD screen on the back is 3.0. Once again, it's articulating. And it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It comes in black and silver, so on and so forth. Exact same battery. This is all the same, guys. Nothing has changed. There is a couple of things that changed, all right? Number one, they completely did away with the EVF, right? So there's no more electronic viewfinder on the back. So what has happened is now the camera's smaller. You don't have anything you can look through. I personally like an EVF, but now it's gone. Now it's like the camera that I'm shooting with right now, the Canon S120, no EVF, okay? Which is okay. Now you can buy an EVF for this camera. It's just under 200 bucks, but why would you? I'm going to get into that. The other thing that has changed is the articulating back panel. Now, what did they do, guys? Instead of having that articulating back panel flipping down, which was literally, I don't even know what they were thinking, okay? It was just a mess. Instead of it flipping down, what does it do, guys? Exactly like what we want it to do. It flips up. So now, since they've taken the EVF off the top, the screen flips up, it's pointing towards you. I can actually see myself while I am vlogging. Right? Is this awesome or what? So a lot of people out there in the community have said, listen, if you want to buy a Canon, let's say mirrorless camera, an M5 versus an M6, they have all suggested an M5. Why? Because the EVF is in the camera itself. The price difference is literally about $200 difference. It's like $799 to like $999. That $200 will get you the same EVF if you want to put it in. So why would you do that? My answer to that is I think that they're all wrong. I would say yes, they're right if you just want to use it simply as a camera. But if you're looking for a vlogging camera, you don't need an EVF, number one. Number two, you want an articulating back panel that looks towards you, that flips up and not down, so the tripod pole doesn't cover your face, right? And don't forget, everything within the camera itself is identical. So the focusing system's identical. The 1080p by 60 frames per second is identical. Everything is identical besides the EVF. Now there's one other thing. It doesn't allow you to go onto the back panel, is my understanding, and change your focus by just clicking here, there, and elsewhere. I like that, but for me, it's not a deal breaker, because if you're doing vlogging, you're not going to be back there anyways changing focus, right? You're going to change focus beforehand. You're either going to lock your focus or you're going to let it follow focus as need be. It does fantastic facial recognition and tracking, just like this camera does, which is probably about 4 or 5 years old, and it just simply works. So for me, with the Canon M5 versus the M6 I would say that if you're going to use it as a shooter and you want to carry it in your pocket and you're going to go wander around, I would say go with the Canon M5. It has a really nice EVF in the back. You're not going to have to buy one separately and snap it on to where you have your hot shoe. You don't need that. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But if you are a vlogger, or if you want to do any type of videoing of yourself and you have the thing out here, it is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Losing that $200 for having no EVF and having an articulating back panel that goes up, I'm all in, Canon. Really, really smart. I think that you've hit it right on the mark. So, my suggestion, Canon M6 if you're a vlogger, Canon M5 if you're just going to go out there and shoot. So guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Do you like the Canon M5 or do you like the M6? Do you agree with me when it comes to a vlogging camera or not? What do you think? I want to hear the community's opinion. Down below, go into the comments, put those comments in there, and as always, if you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get all of my content as soon as it comes out. And as always, go over to JCristina.com where you can find a lot of photography tools that I've invented for photographers just like you. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.